going on, guys? Welcome back to Scratch Golf Performance, and this is week 3, day 1 of our 8-week golf strength and power cycle. We are towards the end of the more simplistic movements that we're trying to nail down before we progress into some more advanced exercises and plyometrics and lifts. So make sure to follow along and like the video and subscribe to the channel to see more of these workout videos in the future. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So we're starting with a standard box jump, just taking what we've been learning over the last couple weeks and applying it to this drill. Goal here is rapid hip extension, rapid arm swing, and I'm trying to explode off of the ground and then have a nice soft landing on this box. You don't have to jump on this high of a box if you're not capable. Progress, obviously start low. Once you feel comfortable, then start adding blocks or getting bigger boxes as you go. But notice how I'm getting a little prime and then I'm exploding. That little prime is just firing up my nervous system, getting me ready to go and just getting me prepared for the jump. I've got a little step down there just because it's a high box. If I tried to step down or jump down off that box, I've got an increased chance of injury. But I only did 4 reps just because I'm using maximal force and maximal velocity, and that's going to wear me out. Now I'm going to a lunge jump. Again, still rapidly extending my hips, rapidly extending the arms, absorbing force, and then reapplying force as fast as I can. I'm doing 5 each side on this lunge jump variation. And then I'm doing a single leg bridge with a banded hip flexor. This is a really good combo movement that I use for a lot of my teams and my athletes, working on single leg hip stabilization, which is what I need in the golf swing, and I'm working hip flexion in contrast with my 2 hip extension movements. Really good one to kind of give you some rest after those 2 heavy plyometric movements and to work some contrasting muscle groups. Now we're moving on to our back squats. We've been progressing these over the last couple of weeks, doing 12 reps. Now for this strength portion this week, we're dropping everything down to 10 reps. So that means the reps are going down, the weight and intensity are gonna go up. Doing 10 reps here, a little bit more weight. I'm really focusing on getting down to depth, knees going out, keeping a good solid braced core, and then driving up from the ground. We're gonna be switching up squat variations here over the next couple of weeks, but again, we're just trying to build a good solid base, get really good at the fundamentals like a back squat, and if we get good at the back squat and we're able to handle fatigue in those higher reps, we'll be able to handle a lot more complex movements in the future. Then I'm doing just a bridge banded hamstring curl. Again, just contrasting the hamstrings with the quads. Notice how my hips are going up as that ball comes in. And I really feel this in that lengthened portion of the hamstring. So I did 10 of these. And then I rotated to a dumbbell hip flexor. So I've got 2 hip flexor movements in this workout. This dumbbell hip flexor is kind of tricky. You need to go heavy with it, and you need it as far out on your knee as you can. So the further down you bring that dumbbell closer to your knee, the harder it's gonna be when you're raising that knee to work the hip flexor. So just try and get a good balance between weight and distance from your knee. If you're having a hard time with this one, or you just got really short arms, then you can switch it up with another hip flexor variation. But I like doing this one just because it gives me more rest for my back squats in between sets, and it's just a different hip flexor movement that I can start working. Now we're going on to our second strength portion. You've seen me do these 100 times. I'm doing a seated hamstring curl. I'm gonna rep these out a lot. Strong hamstrings equal a strong body. So try and work in the hamstrings as much as I can. And then I'm doing a little different RDL variation. So 2 hamstring exercises in this circuit. I'm doing a cable RDL. If I did a barbell or a dumbbell RDL this late into my workout, especially after those advanced plyometrics in my back squats, I would be a little fatigued and I wouldn't be able to control the load as best as I can if I use something like a barbell. So I'm doing a cable RDL, still getting a good stretch in the hamstrings and in the glutes, but with that cable, that weight's going away from me and I'm able to take the load off of my back. So this is a really good variation if you're tired, you're sore, you're still just not getting that vertical spine alignment that you would in an RDL. Start working this one and focus on that hinge, and then you'll get that RDL really quickly. And then the last one's just gonna be a banded abductor. Notice how I'm standing up straight. So I'm not tilting as my leg abducts away from my body. I'm staying up tall, letting the glute do the work, and I'm keeping the bottom of that foot in line with my ankle and my leg. So I'm letting everything abduct away. I did 10 on one side, 10 on the other side. And that's gonna be it for week 3, day 1. Starting to, again, progress into more advanced movements, starting to lower the reps a little bit, increasing the weight, and then we'll be increasing intensity and complexity of movements over time. So make sure to like and subscribe to follow along. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.